You're watching Let's Chat.
The first African-American woman to head a department at UTC has now donated and will be releasing soon hundreds of very important documents about her work at the university and, from what I understand, other amazing things she did to help pave the way for African-Americans in Chattanooga and beyond. So I'm excited to be here today with Reverend and Pierre,
yes.
Chattanooga President of the local NAACP, and Carolyn Runyon with UTC. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
So Dr. Tommie Brown is responsible for all of this, and she is your friend.
Yes, she is. And that's very ironic because during the time, I guess 10th grade, when I moved to the neighborhood, lived in the house directly behind her house. And everybody in the neighborhood said, you better be a good girl and do like little Tommie. And she was an icon in the neighborhood as a young girl.
That's giving me goosebumps. I didn't realize you two were childhood friends.
Well, we weren't.
You were aware of each
a little
other.
difference in age.
Okay.
But she was our mentor in terms of not even knowing the older people in the neighborhood. We lived in a working class neighborhood, not even knowing that the people in the neighborhood was holding her up as an example for us to follow.
So why was she held up as an example to follow? What did she accomplish?
Well, she's always been a leader. And she went to college, graduated from college, went on, got a master's degree, and I was always in the community doing things for people. She was born a social worker. Her grandmother did that type work in the neighborhood, although her grandmother didn't have a degree. But she came on, so she was just built for that work. And she takes it very seriously in terms of how people are treated. And if you look at her work, that's the extent of it. She works to make things better for people.
Right. So she wasn't only the first African-American department head at UTC, female African-American department head. She also was part of a lawsuit to get city council members on board that were black. Am I correct? Talk to me about that.
That's correct. At one time, the city of Chattanooga just looked at people in general, and they had a commission, which meant that almost anybody could get into the office. Well, there were not African Americans in the office. So as the Brown versus the Commission of Chattanooga, that particular lawsuit said that percentage-wise, there would need to be drawn in the district enough percent for African Americans to have a chance to elect someone. Now, it didn't say that that person had to be an African American. It just said that African Americans should have the opportunity to elect a representative.
Well, the city's indebted to her and a lot of other people for what she paved for so many after that. Now, speak to me about the curating processes and what you actually have now. What has she donated?
So Dr. Brown last spring donated about 125 boxes of material.
Wow.
So it's an extensive collection that we're really excited to be able to curate. And we are in the process of getting an initial inventory, and we have applied for federal funding to be able to support a full-time archivist to work on her papers for about 18 months.
My God.
And we'll hear about that in June.
So she was a meticulous note keeper, it sounds like, a note taker, very organized.
She was, and we cleared out a pretty substantial space in her storage unit. So she kept just about everything, which is really great for us.
What is it like to know, both of you, what this means to the city, to be a part of this as well? Why is this important?
Well, I think it's important to know that there was a young African-American woman who came from a working class neighborhood, moved into different areas, and every time she moved to a different level, to the fact of getting her doctorate. But she didn't just get the degree for herself, she got the degree for the people.
That's right. And now how does it feel to be part of this as we wrap up?
Oh, it's really incredible. Dr. Brown's legacy is from small scale as a social worker. How many hundreds of young mothers did she help in her work there?
Wow.
And then at the university, how many students did she guide at a time where there weren't many faculty of color? So she was a real mentor to many students who studied social work or didn't study social work.
Right.
And then at the state level, she made amazing changes and strides as a legislator. So we're excited to document all of that.
Oh, and I'm excited that I get to share a little bit about it. It sounds like people can get more information at utc.edu/library/special-collections. I hope everyone checks this out. It's not just exciting to learn about Chattanooga history, but this is groundbreaking, and I thank you all so much for coming on.
Thank you.